many years, he really spent for the serious practice. I think experience, out of practice is concerned, I think he more experienced than me. I think really very good monk, very good monk.
So yes, you mentioned about being French. I think this is an uncurable disease. So, this morning, Your Holiness, our friend Lord Layard mentioned that the underestimated importance of mental illness. He mentioned the number 40% of incapacitations. That means the number of days and months and years that you cannot work, that you cannot function in life. Not the number of death, but how many you're just unable to function. And 40% of all days of life that we are not able to function is related to mental illness. By mental illness, it means things like depression, about 8%. Then there's other mental disorders, like phobias, anxiety, post-traumatic disorder, and even more serious, like schizophrenia, altogether about 12%. And then there is different kinds of addiction, which also come from mental problems.
That's right.
8% of disabilitation come from alcoholism, and 2% from drug use. So now compared to that, if you look at cancer, it's only 2%. Of course, the number of deaths is much greater due to cancer than to mental disease, but either you cure or you die, but the fact that you are not incapacitated usually for many, many years. And heart disease is only also 5%. So that means that a great part of what the negative influence on the quality of life is due to mental disease. So of course, some of them are due to basic defect in our brain, like Alzheimer when we get old, it's a decay of the brain, or some form of schizophrenia and so forth. But a lot has to do with the workings of mind, unhealthy minds. Like depression, of course, is a complex phenomenon, and some has to do also with the chemicals of the brain, but there's a lot has to do with the way we deal with the world. We ruminate all the time the past, we are full of hopes and expectations and fears, and we are centered on us, what's going to happen, and we lose the meaning of life, we lose the faculty to express and feel love. All those are mental problems. Craving that leads to different forms of addiction when they become more serious, it begins with the mind that has lost its balance. If we find something pleasant, and then we want it, and again, and again, and neuroscientists will tell you that you start building something in the brain that is just about wanting. It's different than what gives you pleasure. So at the end, you don't enjoy anymore, but you want it, so you are addicted. That's built up by the mind. So just as it was built by the mind, a healthy mind can also find remedy. We know that mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, the mixture of Aaron Beck, whom you know, methods with meditation, is one of the most efficient ways to prevent relapse from depression, up to 30 to 40%. For people who had 3 to 4 or 2 to 3 episodes, it's as efficient as medication. So that's again working with healthy minds. But we vastly underestimate the power of transformation of the mind. This is granted, this is how I am. And we spend most of our hopes and fears about remedying the outer condition. If I had all that, I will be happy. If I don't have that, I can't be happy. So things like that. Of course, we need to improve outer conditions in this world, especially where these outer conditions are terrible, where there is no peace, when there is no food, when there is no health. But still, that doesn't mean that we should not take care of a healthy mind. That's what Richie and many others are doing. So an healthy mind is obviously a need because our mind is what we are dealing with from morning till evening. It can be our best friend, but it can be also our worst enemy, whether we like it or not. So the way our mind works is going to color all our world, the world we experience. So then there's all these approaches that has been developed in the Buddhist science, contemplative science, by many traditions, how to make a mind that is more free from the running of this destructive emotion of craving, hatred, jealousy, pride, mental confusion, and how to enhance as skills the factors that will make a healthy mind that is conducive to well-being. So loving kindness, compassion, inner freedom from those wandering thoughts, inner confidence, inner strength, and above all, altruistic love and compassion, which is known to be what gives the most fulfillment for you and also obviously for others. So then the healthy mind is also intimately linked with this kind of care, benevolence, altruism, love, compassion. Because me from morning till evening is a very miserable condition for you, and also you make the life of everyone miserable. It's a lose-lose situation. Everyone is losing. Compassion, of course, it's the most sort of fulfilling state of mind, and of course, obviously, you are making to make others happy, so it's a win-win situation. So that can be trained. Now, our collaboration has shown that, but how can we take that to a bigger level for the issue that has been on health, public health? Well, if there's healthy minds of individual, you will get a healthy society. If everyone collaborates more than competition, if there are less consumerism and find more contentment, if they find that voluntary simplicity is not depriving yourself, it's just having a simpler and happier life. It's not depriving yourself from the good things in life, which would be stupid. It's simply not being constantly tormented by wanting more when you have one you want two, and then it's endless. So how can we bring it to a bigger issue about environment, about global governance? Well, if we see what are the main challenges that we are facing today, they're basically something to do with 3 time scale. The fast economy. Everything goes fast. The stock market goes up and down within 1 week, and nobody knows why. Some people think they know. Very fast. And then they say, oh, if the economy doesn't go well, everything else will not work. So this is reality, and we have to take care. But, of course, there is quality of life. How you feel. How you feel in your family. What is the quality in the workplace, in society. Time of a family, of a duration of a lifetime, flourishing, human flourishing, gross national happiness. I was just a few days ago with Mohammed Yunus, and he says, if we become money-making robots, is reducing the wonderful qualities of human being to this single dimension. So that's not worth living in society. And as Gandhi said also, there's always be enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed, which is limitless. So we need to take care of the second time scale dimension, which is longer, like 50 years, 100 years. And then there's a longer one, which is environment. Like now it's becoming shorter because of the urgency, but before it used to be 10,000 years, 1 million years, so longer period. So it's normal that economists cannot think in terms of 100 years, because in their accounts at the end of the year, it doesn't matter. There's a famous American comic called Groucho Marx. So I'm a Marxist, but from the Groucho branch. He said, why should I care for future generation? What did they did for me? So of course, the people who are not there cannot do anything for you. So that's what some economists are thinking. This doesn't matter for me. So that is why the only concept that can allow to span those 3 time scales, the economy now, the quality of life, happiness, and the future generation, is consideration for others, altruism. That's the only one. Because then if you are more consideration for others, you are not going to play like at the casino with the resources of other people. If you are more consideration for others, you will make sure that society is an harmonious society. And if you are more consideration for others, you will not enjoy everything knowing that you are degrading the planet. So that's no more altruism, love, care, compassion, something soft, something extra, something that you can have if everything goes well. It is at the heart of solving our problem. And this is based on interdependence and interconnection. Martin Luther King said, we all came on different boats, but now we are on the same ship. So that's obvious. So in a way, in the same way that individualism in a group, in a community, doesn't work well, in the same way, at the level of nations, if we only concentrate on the benefit of single nation, then we cannot solve those big problems. There's no way. This is beyond the scope of nations and individual interests. That's why we need for taking care of something that concerns all of us. We all breathe the same air, more or less, so if it's in danger, we should care. And that comes with generating more altruism. What is wonderful is we know it's part of human nature, and we know we can cultivate it, so we should go for it and do our very best. And I think that's the key to solving those problems cognitively and also as human beings, how we can change. We can change, and we should change to a more caring society.
Wonderful. Wonderful.